I see that you couldn't get enough of the previous video. You're back, and I'm back to talk about semifinal 2 from Eurovision 2022. Last time out, or well, recording-wise, I just finished recording the first part, so I've been rambling so much now. But for you, this video comes up a bit later, so maybe you've already seen my semifinal 1 chat, where I've told you the 10 songs I enjoyed the most from semifinal 1. And now you're back to see me watch or see me tell you what songs I like the most from semifinal 2. This one is a bit trickier, I think, but I think that I'll be able to put together 10 songs that I like the most from this semi. But I really do think there are 11 in this one that I want to see go through. So I'll have to. It's tricky. But yeah, welcome back anyway. I'm sorry I wasn't very kind there in the opening, I think. I really shouldn't ramble too much. I think we should just start talking about semifinal 2. I'm gonna tell you what songs I enjoyed the most from this semi without rehearsals. I don't take that into consideration. It's just what songs I enjoy the most and a little bit of reasoning why, I think. And maybe it's of interest to some of you. Maybe it's of complete non-interest to most of you, I think. But regardless, let's start talking about this semifinal. Finland is the first song we're going to talk about. Finland is quite interesting in many aspects. You know, they work with the tritones and the verses, which I think is really clever and outstanding and just tangible in every type of way. I kind of admire the songwriting that they've gone for this. And I think out of all of the rock songs this year, this is probably the one that I enjoy the most, I think. But unfortunately, I don't really enjoy any of them. I think that the hook of this song it's all right. It's pretty memorable. The sound design of everything and the production quality of it's pretty solid, but there's just something about it that doesn't really latch on to me. I think it's not really melodically engaging enough, which is quite interesting. And also, it's not really that hectic and intense as I would like the rock songs to be. I completely loved what Finland sent last year, Blind Channel with the Dark Side, because it was so intense. It had this atmosphere to it. It had such a hard-hitting drive and punch, and it just really worked in every aspect. And this feels like a tamer effort. It feels more like the rock from the early 2000s, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like last year, they went more with the nu metal style that maybe Linkin Park started establishing during the same period. But it sounded more modern and more just hard-hitting. And in 2022, I think the Rasmus also kind of tried to really modernize their sound because the production quality and just the whole like synth work of everything is really polished. But I just don't think the hook is there. The chorus isn't quite just this drive in it. There's a bit of a lack of just the working with drive and work with energy and intensity, I think. And that's where it falls a little bit flat. And even though I'm a big rock fan, I just don't ever set out to listen to this song, which is kind of a shame. Even though like they're so creative songwriting wise with the songwriting in the verses, the song just doesn't work for me, and it's a shame. I don't really want to see, or like if I chose, I would leave Finland in the semifinal. But I understand that they could probably go through, and I don't think I really mind them going through. But it's just one of those songs. It doesn't connect with me. It just doesn't click with me at all. And I'm a little bit disappointed because I really like there are aspects in this that I really enjoy, but the whole package of it and the whole punch of it is just not there. And I think it mainly comes down to the drive of it. So I'm starting off with a controversy, I guess. Israel is the second song in this semi, and I'll keep the controversies going. This is. I really enjoy this song a lot. It's a bit, just out there and really expressive and fun. And sometimes I think fun can be kind of off-putting. In this case, I kind of really, really enjoy it. It's just such a great energetic package. There's a great quality in the vocal delivery. There is also a great hook there. I think like the main instrumental hook of the song, like the drop section or whatever, it's really working for me. I find it really charming and catchy and energetic and enjoyable. and I just think it works so well as a complete package. Even though like the structure and the flow of the song leading into it, like there are parts which I enjoy more than others. I think this whole kind of toned down build up that it has going for it is a little bit underwhelming, because I think a great switch up that the song has is when the percussion really joins in the first time. After the song has opened with this vocal acrobatics thing at the opening, the first verse starts off well with this plucky kind of instrumental behind it, but then when the verse leads into the second part of it, there is a lot of percussion being thrown in on the beat to really just create a lot of energy. And that's probably my favorite part of the entire song, in all honesty, because the vocal melody works so well with it as well. But then it leads into this more toned down, kind of intimate section, I guess, leading into the chorus, which is a bit of a mismatch for me. But then the drop comes in, and I just really enjoy it. It's one of these songs that I just have a lot of fun listening to, and I really enjoy it for that. So I mean, I'd love to see this go through. In all honesty, it's not really one of my top songs, and it's not something that I think is musically very superb or striking. But I have a lot of fun listening to it, and I think that's also something that really should be um, like really should be elevated when judging music, because if a song makes you feel happy listening to it, you shouldn't feel ashamed about that. And I get happy listening to this song, and I just love the attitude of it. I love the sound of it, and I love the way it progresses as well. And I'm not ashamed of that in the slightest. I enjoy the hell out of it, and I'm gonna stand by that. And I want to see Israel in the final. It might not happen, and that's completely fine. But I want to see it happen. So I'm 1 for 2 so far, and I'm gonna be 2 for 3 because Serbia is coming up next. This is one of the greater songs in the semi. I think it's so complete, and it's its own thing. This whole project that Constructa is doing, it's really cool, and I'm all for it. And I think this song in particular has this really hypnotic hook to it that gets probably the entire audience really dragged into it. Some people will sit there and do the eye rolls, but I think a lot of people just get dragged into whatever is going on here, because there's this mysterious atmosphere, and it's really well set in the tone of it. And I just really enjoy everything that it has going for it. And there's a nice variation of sections as well. The verses are its own thing, the chorus is its own thing. Just really solid, put together. I really just enjoy the whole arrangement of it, and I want to see Serbia go through. I really should shorten down my little comments about all of these songs, because you can watch my reviews on my channel if you want to hear more elaborate thoughts on the songs. Azerbaijan, I want to see this go through. It's a really nicely put together song, a little bit slow at times, and I think there are like these cuts in the song which really takes you out of the whole experience. It doesn't really work for me. Like the song doesn't feel like a cohesive unit in a sense. But then when the song actually has its segments where it gets going, it's just one of these songs that has the perfect sound to it. It's well produced, it's well designed in terms of the sound, it's well arranged. I just kind of don't like the pauses that it keeps doing, and the fact that it never really relies on building any energy into it. The final section of the song is really where things get going, because they add this constant kick drum, and there's this build in it for the final chorus, which I think is an amazing section of the song. That song really gets me going. I'm getting really dragged into it, and then just gets killed again for the outro, of course. I think there could have been like a better progression working for it, but just it's enough for me to really get won over by this one. It's enjoyable enough, and I really just when I get to the parts of the songs that I like, I really like it. So big thumbs up for Azerbaijan. I want to see that go through. I do not want to see Georgia go through. This is I'm not gonna hold back or anything, because this song has its fans, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy for all of you who find something to enjoy in this song. It's just not for me. It doesn't work anywhere on any type of the spectrum. It keeps relying on monotonous sounds. It's a statically produced song. The sound design is, in my book, completely horrendous. If you find charm in the way that they've arranged things and they've approached things, I'm happy for you. And of course, these guys aren't, of course, these guys know what they're doing. They've taken this approach for a reason. It's just completely wrong for me as an audience because nothing about it really hits home. There's this hook of the song that I know a lot of people like. It's really catchy, but at the same time, I just kind of really can't stand this constant movement between these two chords going up and down, the 1 and the 5. And then, I mean, it's kind of cool that they land on the 2 for the Lock Me Sideways part, but I don't know. It's just a hook that I feel is quite jumpy because it's quite monotonous on each of the notes that it really goes to, and just no real flow to it. I think the backing track during this section is pretty cool, but then when you get into the verses again, it just feels like this complete contrast to it, and the verses are really just a chore for me to sit through because I really can't stand the sound design of it. I can't stand the approach they've taken. It's very static, it's very monotonous, it's very repetitive, and just kind of off-putting for me. It's mostly off-putting for me. It's a shame. I do really admire Georgia for always doing their own thing and really never really caring about what the trend is. But here, like for when I'm the audience, this goes here for me. I completely miss it. So Georgia, I don't mind you staying in the semifinal. You could do that. I wouldn't mind. Malta could do the absolute same. This is too happy for me. It's too by the books for me. It's not interesting enough for me. Songwriting wise, it's completely uninteresting, I think. There's a good singer for this song, and there's a lot of just happiness into it. And if you really want to hear that in music, then I suggest this one for you because it's really uplifting and it's really it kind of could make your heart a bit warm, I guess. But for me, it more like it kind of misses that and it makes my skin crawl instead because no one can be that happy. I'm sure of it. And then you have this clapping sing-along part at the end, and it's a big no for me. I don't find anything to enjoy about this song. You can hear more elaborate thoughts maybe in my review. I think I mostly just say the same thing, that it's too happy for me. I can't stand it. Yeah, sorry Malta, better luck next time. You've sent some good stuff throughout the year, so you have it in you, but this time around, not for me. San Marino is not for me either. The music style isn't really for me, I guess. It's this punky type of rock music, but I can love some punk. I mean, The Clash, fantastic band from that I've listened to so much in my childhood. And even more modern, the modern punk rock bands or modern, but from my childhood, the Sum 41s and stuff. This isn't really that. It's more towards The Clash, but it's really repetitive for me. I don't get any enjoyment from the chorus. I think this is all about the stage show and the performance that they put onto the stage and how they present this song, because within the song, I don't really think there's a lot of things to latch onto. It's melodically not very interesting, and the repetitiveness of it really gets on my nerves, I think. And it's also not really that energetic, which I think is a bit of a weird part of it all, because it really relies on the impression that it leaves with the kind of driving guitar riffs and such. But I can't really get dragged into it. It's too slow, maybe, to really kind of have that power on me. I don't know. It's a weird one. It just doesn't work for me, though. So sorry, but that's 3 in a row that I would leave out, along with Finland there from earlier. I would not leave out the next one, though, Australia. Yeah. I listened through the songs, like top 3 songs from their national final, actually, and I loved Dreamer by Voyager. What a song. Oh, I wish they could have sent that, because that would have been the best rock song from this year for sure. And I also really enjoyed, I don't remember the name of the song, but it was by Jaguar Jones, I think. Also really good song. And I mean, in all honesty, they sent a really good song as well. In my personal preference, though, that song Dreamer would have been so nice to have in this selection, because there would have been a rock song that I just loved, and the hook of it is so memorable, and the synth work. Okay, whatever. We're not here to talk about this song that came in second or third or whatever. Not the Same by Sheldon Riley, really emotional, hard-hitting ballad, well performed, great atmosphere in it. I wish that it could have had a little bit of a greater structure to it and a greater flow between the sections, but still just hard hitting when it really gets going. I'm liking the instrumental of it a lot, and it's well polished, it's well put together, really enjoyable. Well, enjoyable, but you get what I mean. I enjoy sitting and watching this for a reason that is not related to happiness, I guess. It hits me. It really does. And I think Australia is a solid one. I wish the chorus wasn't so repetitive, I guess, but that's one setback among many pros, I guess. I want to see Australia go through. I think they probably will go through as well, so I'm happy about that. But I should keep my head out of predicting because it always goes terribly. Cyprus follows Australia. This is probably the biggest grower for me, I think. I was a bit underwhelmed when I first listened to it. I enjoyed the fact that it wasn't, another Fuego replay El Diablo. It really had its own character instead. And I mean, I've spent enough time eating souvlaki in Athens, so I know that this type of music is, I mean, to Greeks, it sounds pretty much like everything they hear on the radio, but there's still this character to it. And I really do think that the production quality of it is so strong, and the chorus is really just easy to just kind of move along to, I guess. You just kind of get dragged into it. And the language kind of enhances it with the Stinagalyamu. I just like that line, just like the way it sounds and how it moves throughout the chorus. The melodies are really nice, and the instrumental is really quite well. It sounds really well in my ears. Percussion is probably the standout, in all honesty. There's a lot of funny things they do with, or funny things, but interesting things that I really enjoy about the percussion throughout the song. Big props to Cyprus. This one has grown on me massively. It's quite far up in my list of all of the songs. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's been creeping up towards the top. In all honesty, I really enjoy it because it's its own little thing, and it has its character. It has its own style, and quite really enjoy as well the arrangement that they've done here. So I want to see Cyprus go through as well. That's how many now? 5 from the first half. We can hopefully make this work with with 10 songs. Ireland is the next one, and yeah, if you've seen my reviews, you know that this is not for me. It's so far away from being my type of music that it's ridiculous. I think that really, what you have to kind of respect is the attitude that's packed into it. There's a lot of sass. There's a lot of just drive and energy and attitude. But at the same time, I think that the music doesn't really back that up at all. The music is, in my opinion, really underwhelming in this song. And to kind of compensate for the fact that the music isn't very interesting, they've just made it loud instead. So that's an issue. You won't notice it when it's performed live on stage, which is a pro for them. It works well in their favor. But just the song, it's so uninteresting to me. I feel kind of harsh saying it, but it really just doesn't hit me anywhere. I would never set out to listen to this song to get anything out of it. There are other songs which are upbeat and energetic and, kind of pumping you up that are preferred by me. This one is definitely not that. Sorry for formulating myself so poorly, but I've been talking about like 30 songs by now, so you have to understand. But yeah, this doesn't work for me. I'm happy to see that there seems to be a lot of people who really enjoy this song, because I really want to see Ireland. This is a big powerhouse in Eurovision, and they should really be towards the top more often. But if they don't send songs I like, I'm not going to be supporting them, and they haven't done this year. But if they qualify, I'll be really happy for them, because they should be in the final probably every year just because of their Ireland. I shouldn't say that, because they should be in the final if they deserve to be in the final. If they send a song that deserves to be there. Maybe they have done this year, but if they have done that, I've completely missed the boat with it. Anyway, I should stop talking about that one. I don't really want to see Ireland go through, but if it does, I'll be happy for them, and I'll be happy for everyone who really seems to enjoy that song as well. Just not for me. North Macedonia, the worst produced song this year, for sure. It sounds like a demo. Sorry for being harsh, but it's the truth. They have not got a professional mixing engineer or professional just sound mixer or a music producer to really just work on this song and put it together and make it sure that it sounds good, because it unfortunately it doesn't. It sounds unfinished. But behind that kind of layer, there's a song behind there that's kind of enjoyable, and I think the chorus is quite good. There's something in the sound, like in the instrumentation as well, that could have been really hard hitting, but then you just, I can't really look past just hearing these drums and hearing the plastic sound of them, and it's a shame because I'm completely unable to really look past these details. So I'm the worst type of audience for a song like this, but to me it sounds unfinished, and it's a shame because when you submit a song to Eurovision, it should really sound like it's professionally put together. And it's like an easy fix as well. You could contact a professional mixing engineer and just fix it, but they haven't done that, and it shows for me. I feel sorry for everyone who really enjoys this song, because this could have sounded so much better if they really put the effort in. I'm sorry if I'm being harsh, but that's really just the way I feel. I feel like it's a missed opportunity because they have a song behind here somewhere, but I can't hear it. Sorry, don't really want to see you go through. Sorry, North Macedonia, you'll have to come back with something better next year. Estonia comes after it. I definitely want to see Estonia go through. This is, yeah, like with some other songs here, like Cyprus and like Iceland, I guess it's its own thing. You know, there's only this song that sounds like it in the entire selection, and I just think the whole character of it is so hard hitting. I love the vibe of it. I like the instrumentation of it. You know, the guitar driven sections leading into this more energetic drum driven chorus. Great combination of just section leading into section where different things are being in focus. His vocals are really convincing. Great package. Love it. Want to see it go through. Well done, Estonia, really. Romania. I know this one is kind of not really being hyped up a lot, but just like with Israel, I think I love listening to this song. It's one of my, it could be one of the maybe 3 songs that I've listened to the most out of all of them, which just feels a bit crazy. I can hear that it's not, very musically complex, but it just has this vibe to it. It's really catchy, it's really memorable, and it's enjoyable. You can put it on in the background and always just really enjoy and get dragged into it. That's the way I feel about it. I'm really liking the hook. I'm loving the instrumental. I think that's the best part of the whole song. And the instrumental hook, like the way it flows into the instrumental hook every time, just such an enjoyable release, I think. Big props to Romania. I really enjoy this. I'm not very optimistic about its actual chances, but if I were the one who decide, I'd put this through in a heartbeat. So well done, Romania, for once again really working for me. Every time I've liked you, though, you've missed the final in years of late. So maybe that's a bad sign. You should stop sending songs that apply to me or appeal to me. Sorry. Anyway, Poland is following Romania up, and Poland is just great. There's really not too much to say about it. Vocally, superbly impressive. Nice variation of ideas going through the entire song. Like instrumental wise, it's really hard hitting as well. I'm loving the piano driven sections, and then there's this whole string arrangement that really works in its favor as well. The first time I heard it, I was a bit off put with like how the chorus had such a different approach to what I was expecting. I expected it to be more power ballady, but then it becomes kind of this pop song with a really dramatic approach, and the like percussion is really digital in combination with that. It's quite interesting, and I think that also works a little bit in its favor because it makes it stand out in a different way because it's kind of unexpected in that sense. Really just enjoying it, and I'm loving the breakdown towards the end where they swap the chords completely. Big thumbs up for Poland. Really enjoying what they brought to the table this year. I want to see that go through, and I start realizing that I'm running out of spots. We'll see how this goes. Montenegro comes next, and I do really enjoy that they're going for their own thing. There's a great instrumental in here. But the song doesn't click with me. It doesn't have enough drive. It doesn't really have enough melodic impact. I think, and even though the instrumental backs it up well, it's not Zelko levels of instrumental like with Adio or Leila, or even other Balkan, like the ballads from the Balkans, like Korake Titsnam, or uh, what other ones have we had? I can't really remember, but like a lot of these old Bosnian ballads just had that perfect sound to them, and I really just like the whole atmosphere that they brought. This one doesn't go quite all the way there, and it's kind of weird because there is a lot of great detailing in this, but I don't really think that it really has that kind of restrained approach as well. It just kind of goes a bit more all out, I guess. Uh, and that's where it loses me somewhere. I wanted it to be a little bit more vulnerable and something more, um, I don't know, just maybe a little bit more like a little more minimalistic. Um, it's a weird one. I can't really pinpoint my issue with the Montenegro song, and I don't really have an issue with it. It's just that I don't really have anything that I really love about it either. It's kind of just in the middle of it for me, and it's like stacked here. I see in between a lot of songs that I really like. So sorry, but if Montenegro qualifies, I'll be thrilled for them because it's a big thing for Montenegro to qualify, I think. But if I were the one who decides, I wouldn't put it through because it doesn't really stick with me at all. Sorry, but that's just the way I feel. Belgium is coming up next, and if you've seen my review for this, I absolutely love it. I've noticed that a lot of people don't really, I guess. They think, like, I get that the whole him shouting the now, it can be a bit grating. I get that. And I've shown it to like other people and they've seen like, what is this song? Why is he doing that? And then I'm over here and I'm like loving it every time he does it. I just love the impact of it and I love the drive of it. And I think just the fact that they didn't go with this whole kind of mysterious James Bondy ballad type of song, they've instead gone for the R&B approach. I think it's really admirable and I think it's really enjoyable and I love listening to him sing the song. He has this perfect voice for it and I get hooked so much into it. And just the way the song progresses, it's kind of one of these that really took me aback the first time I heard it as well. And it's probably the song that I enjoyed the first time. Like my first listen of the song, it's probably the most enjoyable one that I had this year, where I was just really taken aback and just really enjoyed everything that went on. Of course, like the song from Greece probably had the biggest impact on me when I heard it the first time, but I think the one from Belgium really just surprised me the most, I guess, because it kept taking these turns. I shouldn't be saying that because Slovenia as well, but and France and whatever. Belgium, really cool one. I would love to see it go through. I'm really cheering for it. I really hope they go through. I'm a bit skeptical though towards its chances, but we'll see. Sweden, my own little country, which I didn't do a review for, of course, because I watch Melody Festival and everyone in Sweden does pretty much, even if they don't want to admit it, they do. This is my favorite song from Melody Festival in forever, probably. First time I heard like the first minute snippet of it, I just said that I'm going to be adding this to my playlist. I love everything about it. I hope they don't ruin it when it continues progressing, because the opening minute of it is among the most captivating things I've heard in Melody Festival. Kind of the same vibe I got from last year when there's this song called Behöver inte dig idag by Clara Klingenström, which competed last year, which had the same kind of impact on me. It was just so loaded with emotion and just had the perfect sound to it. It was really polished and mixed superbly well and had the perfect sound design and instrumentation to it. And I'm getting the same vibe from this one, even though it has a completely different approach. But it's just one of these flawless pieces put together that I can't get enough of, really. The way that the song progresses is, kind of blew me away the first time you got to hear the whole thing, along with how it was performed. Just perfect, in all honesty. I was cheering for this the first moment I heard it. I wanted this to win so bad, and now it has. And it feels a little bit like a pipeline dream. Do you call them that? I don't even know. It felt like a dream a little bit, because coming in completely or mostly unknown as an artist, Cornelia Jacobs, and then just winning everyone over because she has such a great song, and it really is one. So love it, love it, love it to bits. Of course, I want Sweden to qualify. I always want Sweden to qualify. I'm biased like that, but this time around, this is the first year. No, I shouldn't say that. In 2019, I cheered for us like crazy as well, but I'm really cheering for us this year. I really want us to do well with this one, and I think this is the song that I'm most proud of us sending since Euphoria. In all honesty, really happy we sent this. It's a perfect song in my opinion. Just such a great way to build the song as well, and the instrumentation is fantastic. The glossy guitars that come in later on in the song just works so well with the impactful drumming, the strings, and the whole vibe with the pads. And I'm gushing in instrumental brilliance that they've shown here. Super well written song. I should stop sounding so biased about Sweden. Let's talk about Czech Republic instead, because this is a song I also really, really enjoy. Super energetic. Loving the digital approach that they've taken. I'm loving when it goes like from the normal chorus with the vocal line leading into this synth lead driven melody that really takes over in the second half of the chorus. I'm always loving those moments, and it's just a pleasant song to really listen to at any time. I really just enjoy listening to it. And it's, there's nothing wrong with it anywhere. It's just enjoyable, and I'm really loving those, like the sound design of the whole hook, especially when the synth lead comes in. But at the same time, I noticed that if I put Czech Republic through, I have 11 songs through, and I can only pick 10. And in all honesty, I think Czech Republic is the least outstanding of the bunch for me personally. I understand that some people will sit behind the screen now and say, oh, how can you take Israel or Romania in when you don't take Czech Republic? But it just comes down to me really enjoying the hell out of Israel and Romania more than I enjoy listening to Czech Republic. There's just these qualities about them that I enjoy more and just appeal to me in my personal preference when I set out to choose a song to listen to. Even though I really enjoy listening to Czech Republic, I can't include it. Sorry, it's just this is Eurovision, you can't get everything you want, and Czech Republic would be my 11th, I think. Unfortunately. Yeah, like looking at the songs now that I've chosen, I wouldn't put it above any of them, but it's pretty close. It really is. I don't know what my borderline to go down would be. I really don't know, to be honest. It's not Sweden, I can reveal that much, biased as I am. All right. That is what I think of semifinal 2. So the songs that I want to go through from the semifinal 2 are Israel, Serbia, Azerbaijan, Australia, Cyprus, Estonia, Romania, Poland, Belgium, and Sweden. And if you disagree with that, awesome, tell me. And if you agree with all of those 10, wow, that would be something. Do tell me that as well, of course. Write the 10 songs you want to see go through in the comments. I'll be looking forward to reading all about that, and we can compare our little lists. And maybe I could do like something where I put together the most frequent ones and I create like, oh, this is what all of you wanted in the final if I combine it. Maybe that's too much work. I'm rambling and I'm just thinking way too far ahead. We'll see what I do. But I promise already now that I'm going to make a third video where I talk about my favorite songs from this year's Eurovision. It'll come up later though. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed these 2 videos where I just ramble about the 2 semifinals. They've become way too long, so I'm going to stop talking now. My voice hurts, and your ears probably do too. Go do something else. I really encourage you to do so. If you've watched all of these, like both of these videos to the end, wow, thank you. You didn't have to do that, but I hope you got some enjoyment out of it at least. Have a good one until